Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Extra Time TV. We had an action-packed day of football. We're here at Smokey and Bunty's. There's a lot of action going on. So, you know, obviously, James, we do what we always do. We let people know why they need to come down here. So let them know.
Well, come down here and join us at Smokey and Bunty's. We have so many wonderful things. We have obviously all the memorabilia in the bar. We have wonderful offers. We have Stag, we have Angostura, and we also have that wonderful trip for two to Tobago with our friends at Venture World Travel. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but what a wonderful bunch of things we have, Andre.
Yes. So, you know, once again, we have Kevin returning with us today. Kevin, it was an action-packed day. We're going to get started, but welcome back. And, you know, let us know. We're going to talk about all the games because we tried to watch all the games simultaneously. Kevin, before we get into the technical aspects, what do you think about the game today?
Well, all the games were thoroughly entertaining. I think the quality of football, not just on the pitch, but I think the quality tactically from all coaches. I think this World Cup has been probably one of the best ever I've seen.
Yes. So we're going to head straight into the group, folks. Group H, the first game of the day, Uruguay. They got a 2-0 victory, but it was not enough to really secure qualification. Guys, how do you feel for Suarez and those guys? What do you think about their approach? Just overall, James, we'll start with you. Uruguay just needed one more goal to get in, but they didn't get it. What do you think Uruguay got wrong in this tournament?
Well, this was a very interesting Uruguay team. It's one that me and Kev obviously both spoke about, that this was a team that could be an outsider, but they just did not promise or did not live up to that expectation. They have guys like Valverde, Suarez, Cavani, Nunez, but they just did not do enough. And obviously the result today, they got the result, but they weren't able to come up with it, you know?
Yes, of course, Kevin, you know, we always look at the statistics as well. So obviously 12 shots for Uruguay, 10 for the opposition team, 7 on target, 4, 49% possession. What do you think, as James, just to build on what James said, you know, what went wrong for Uruguay?
Well, we knew the game would have been open. We knew the game would have been full of chances because both teams needed to win, right? So I thought that Uruguay played the better football on the day, but I thought it would have been more of a feisty affair, seeing that, you know, in 2010 all that happened there with the Suarez handball. I think the penalties against Uruguay came back to haunt Ghana yet again because they missed another one. I think with Uruguay, they played Arasqueta, who the public in Uruguay has been screaming out for him to start. He's one of their highly rated players, and he proved to be the difference. He got the 2 goals today, but as you say, it just wasn't enough. I think from a Ghana perspective, I thought that they could have went to the game a little bit earlier to put some pressure on Uruguay. But you know, sometimes like how football goes. I think Kudos was fantastic throughout the whole tournament, and again today he won the penalty, and he's just been a threat and a thorn in the side of every defense he's played against. So tough luck to Ghana, and well played to the other teams.
But again, it comes back to exactly what we spoke about the last few days. It's not game management, it's group management. You know, Uruguay, they get this result, obviously 2 wonderful goals as Kevin said there, but they didn't do enough collectively over the 3 games. You know, I thought Ziggy, the goalkeeper from Ghana, had some fantastic saves. Brilliant performance by him. He'll be disappointed, obviously they lost the game, but as I say, Uruguay, they promised so much. They got this victory, but they just didn't give us enough over the long term, and they come back to haunt them because they wanted to be in the last 16. You could see it after the game with Suarez, the reaction, they were bitterly disappointed. But one thing I've noticed in this World Cup, the passion is absolutely frightening. I mean, everybody wants to make it in, everybody enjoying it, everybody crying at the end when they don't win these games, and that is what we want to see. You know, we want, as a fan of football, we want to see that from every single player on the field, and we saw that today.
Yes, and you know, obviously, from a tactical perspective, you know, let's talk about Uruguay. You know, obviously, the post-Oscar Tabarez era, we spoke about it. According to this, they played forward the back. You know, players like Bentancur and those guys are really good attacking players. They didn't get it done. You know, we covered everything greatly. Was there anything tactically they could have done differently to really get that result? Because I think personally Uruguay did everything they could, but they just couldn't get that in. Cavani got that nice shot towards the end, but you know, eventually in the end it was not enough. Do you think that there's anything tactically they should have done in terms of the formations?
The only thing I think he could have done earlier is probably not take off Suarez for Cavani. Probably try to go to them up top.
Yeah.
Nunez, as we know, could operate on the left hand side. Valverde could have put him behind the striker. He could have gone a little more attacking because, you know, especially as we see, just one more goal they needed. And I think this is a trend going on where I don't know if it's naivety or if it's just arrogance, but a lot of coaches seem to just be making these decisions where I could take off from those players because the game is won, and we see it came back to bite a lot of teams, and it came back to bite Uruguay today, I think.
Yeah.
But the one thing to remember is they won this game 2-0, but it was the games previously. No matter what we say, they won the game.
But James, before we continue, we have the lovely ladies from Angostura going to give us some drinks today, folks. So in the middle of the show, as you can tell, we're going to refresh ourselves with a lovely drink. Yes, yes, folks. So once again, I'll have mine. Thank you very much. And we'll probably have more as the show goes along. So yeah. We're continuing, so we're going to continue along. You know, we have a lot of things going on here, folks. As you can see, we have the wonderful drinks. We have a lot of action coming down. So if you don't want to hear our voices, there's a lot of things going on down here. Drinks for the ladies and the men. And for you non-alcoholic drinkers, there's a lovely Smoky and Bonte's juice that I drink all the time. That's unique to their brand. I love it. So we have something for everyone. Everyone. So back to the football now. James, you were saying?
Yeah, what I was saying is, as I say, they got this 2-0 victory, but it has to come down to the other games because they got the result today, you know, so no matter what the formation, the systems were in play today, they won the game. But it comes down to the games previously, and they just did not do enough in those games. I mean, personally, I would have liked them to play a back three today and go for it a little more. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's those two games, the first two games, that has let them down. And as I say, they're going home. We could see how disappointing they were, but again, that's football. I mean, if you think about, for example, the Ghana team, they've got so much talent there as well. It's a 2-0 loss, but that's football again.
Yes, yes. So, you know, we're not going to talk about the group standings yet. We'll talk about a game that took place at the same time, which was South Korea taking on Portugal. Now, this is a game that, you know, yes, Portugal pretty much secured qualification, but they fell 2-1 to South Korea, which complicated things in the entire group, which we'll talk about in the end. So let's talk about, obviously, the talk is about Cristiano Ronaldo for all the wrong reasons heading into the tournament. James has his theories about that. We'll talk about that. But what do you think about Portugal's approach and South Korea, how they did in this particular game to get that point, to basically secure themselves into the next round?
Well, this was an interesting one because Portugal started a little brighter, in my opinion. They went 1-0 up. But, I mean, it was a lovely finish from Horta. He came in, but Portugal made 6 changes in this game. Yeah. Obviously, he kept Ronaldo in there, who I thought was going to be a casualty because he had an injury. He didn't train 2 days ago, but he made it for this game. Yeah. But he made a whole host of changes. I thought they played pretty well, switching the ball from Pepe to Cancelo and to Dalo, and it gave them a lot of favour early on in the game. But South Korea just came back, and they're so resilient, they're so strong, and they're so pacey and aggressive, and it worked for them, and they were able to come with this 2-1 victory. So kudos to them. They'll be delighted. We saw the passion, and they're going through to the next round as well. What a wonderful game.
Yes, I know, Kevin, you know, obviously tactics again. Yeah. So obviously, you know, Portugal scored first, but eventually South Korea came back. So let's take a quick look at the stats, folks. You know, Portugal had 13 shots on goal. Also Korea had 13 as well, but 6 on target for both teams. But possession, once again, according to this, 62% possession versus 38. What do you think about their approach? Do you think they got the tactics right, and is it a true reflection of the game?
On the whole, I think it's a good reflection on the game. I thought South Korea showed that bit of edge that they wanted it a bit more. Obviously, they had to win. Again, I think it's a bit too much changes on the coach, and I think this might be the 3rd time in a row we're calling out Santos on his changes to the team, his substitutions. I thought was poorly timed, and I think it was poor decisions. I think he took up too much quality, and he didn't replace them with quality, and that allowed South Korea to just keep in the game. I don't know if it's again, if they're a bit naive or if they're just arrogant, but just one more. I think Son was fantastic, and that pass to Plain Huang, I mean, that's class.
Yeah, no, it was, but I mean, I want to counter you a little bit, Kev, because at the end of the day, Portugal didn't need to get anything out of this game. They were through already, so yes, I agree with everything you're saying. I mean, I think Portugal could have done a little better, but they were basically through, you know?
Right.
And it just shows, you know, that we cannot discount the teams in the tournament. South Korea came out and he showed a wonderful performance.
Right, and you know, obviously from a tactical side of things, you know, both teams pretty much had the same formation from what I'm seeing here. Do you think that this was just a blip for Portugal, that maybe they took their foot off the gas because they were qualified? Is this a risky tactic? What do you think about, a lot of teams have been losing, like, we'll get to that later on with another team, but you know, what do you think about a lot of teams kind of getting, like France as well, these kind of results where they lose? I know you want to rotate players. I asked James about this, so I'll ask you as well. What do you think about it? Is it risky? Is it smart, or could they not help themselves? Was South Korea that good?
I think when you make 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, as we see with another team later on today, that breaks not just the momentum of the team, but it breaks the chemistry.
Yeah.
You know, you break up the team totally, and that could hurt you. I think it's very risky. I think maybe 4 changes at a time might be, you know, good. Maybe 1 in each line, and I think it really did hurt Portugal because, you know, Ronaldo wasn't getting the type of service that he would have been expected because, you know, the quality just isn't there. And also, these players are playing for their spot. So when they could have played Ronaldo in, they took a shot, they tried something because, you know, they want to get picked for the next game. And I think, you know, that, as we will talk about it later on in the show, happened to a lot of teams. And I think it's a bit too risky when you're looking at on a holistic view. I always have a saying, you're only as strong as your bench.
Yeah.
But from what we see right now, the benches are not as strong as we think. So I don't know if James may have something different to say.
No, I agree with you. I think I was a little perturbed with the changes they made because I think they could have, like you say, 3 or 4 changes is fine. But we saw it with France obviously a few days ago. They did the same thing and lost to Tunisia. And same kind of thing today. I mean, I would have liked Portugal to go and win the group and show that dominance. They've not done it. And we'll talk about another team that did the same thing a little later on. But I mean, what I would say is it was nice to see Horta come in and get his goal.
Yep.
You know, and obviously Mario played there with Ronaldo. Neves didn't last the game out with Ronaldo either. And I think Ronaldo was vexed, as he said, Ronaldo, that he had to go off because he wants to win. He's a natural born winner, and this loss will hurt him, you know. So I don't agree necessarily with the coach's tactics, but at the end of the day, the 2 teams are through, and we have a wonderful round of 16 to look forward to.
Yes, and you know, obviously now we're going to take a look at the groups, guys. So obviously in Group H, Portugal are still on top with 6 points, South Korea with 4 points, Uruguay with 4 points because they didn't get that 3rd goal, and Ghana, even though they had some admirable performances, at the bottom of the table with 3 points. Guys, do you think the right teams made it through? You know, what do you think? Let's hear it. Predicts.
Well, I had Uruguay as one of my dark horses, so
same here.
So for me, I would say no, but that's just my heart speaking there, and I don't like to look bad.
Yeah.
But you know, on the whole holistic view of the group and the football that has been played, I think maybe South Korea just about deserve to go through.
Yeah, I agree with Kev. I mean, I had Uruguay as well as my dark horse team. They've not necessarily lived up to, with the exception of this last game, the hype. But you've got to give kudos to South Korea. I didn't expect it, and they've shown that the proved us all wrong. And for some reason, Japan did it as well. Korea's now did it, and it's absolutely fantastic. So, I mean, I knew Portugal would come out on top, but it's wonderful to see so many teams that have so many newbies in the last round of 16 because it means that there's a chance that something new could lift the World Cup.
Yes, and you know, so I think as well, you know, they deserve to go through as well. I thought Uruguay would have done better, but Uruguay is one of those teams. For those of you who follow South American football, they always, with maybe the exception of 2010 and maybe a little bit in 2014, they always kind of they don't deliver when it matters, I guess, and they always do that. So unfortunately, those are the results of that group. We'll move along, but before we move along, we're going to announce our first winner of the FIFA 23 giveaways from none other than one of our regular, consistent supporters, Gregory Burris. You know, he won the FIFA 23. He's here. We'll put on social media and have some fun with it, folks. So the giveaways have begun. As you can see, there's a lot of drinks going on. We have the Angostura James.
But there's lots more. I mean, there's so many giveaways. Obviously, tomorrow again, we have a lot more giveaways to come down here. Smoking Bunties on the Avenue. I think we have Parang as well, you know? So many giveaways. It's wonderful that one of our regulars gets it, but come down here with a chance to win so many different prizes.
Yes, and you know, just before we move along and head to our commercial break, we just want to mention biotech. So folks, let's take a quick message from the kind folks of biotech.
Biotech Plus is internationally certified for all clinical disinfection and sterilization, all infectious disease control and surgical instruments.
Alright, So we're back, and obviously we're going to talk about the next group. But before we move along, folks, coming down to Smoky and Bunties, we have a lot of action going on. But Switzerland took on Serbia and edged them 3-2 in Group G. It was a pretty interesting result because both teams were kind of on an edge, I guess. But I don't want to spoil it because the other result in the other game matters. So guys, what do you think about this game? It was 3-2, it was pretty narrow. Serbia had a pretty decent game against Brazil in their first game. What do you think about the result?
Well, this was a real battle. I mean, you saw it on the field. There was so much passion, tension, players going at it. I mean, but it was a wonderful victory for Switzerland coming out 3-2, and they'll be delighted to get that victory as well. But I mean, we'll talk in the details, the tactical side in a minute, but it was a very, very entertaining game, and again, that is what we want in this World Cup. What about you, Kev?
Well, again, it was a feisty affair. As you see, a lot with these European countries, the geography of all these countries are so close. And of course, in the past they had a lot of political history. So, it was very passionate, as Jane said, very aggressive. But I think the quality of football was phenomenal. And in terms of the attacking play that we saw, Switzerland, kudos to them. They could have just gone out there and grind out a result. Like we have seen a lot of teams try, but they obviously learned lessons where we see teams trying to grind out results like Poland, and it didn't work out. They came out and they attacked. I think Serbia made a game of it. The big boys came out, Mitrovic, Vlahovic. I think this is a team that I thought that Serbia would have started with those two up front, Kostic on the wing.
Correct.
That brought them a lot of success in qualifying. And I think if they were a little bit braver earlier, they could have probably come out of this group because they have a fantastic team and they will be disappointed. The coach, again, the tactical battles in this World Cup is so clinical. You have to be clinical right now, and he would be looking back at the previous games and wondering, should he have been a little braver earlier?
Yes, so we're going to take a look at the stats like we always do. 14 shots versus 12, Switzerland versus Serbia as well. What do you think about the possession? It was pretty close. 46% for Switzerland, 54 for Serbia as well. I almost said Serbia and Montenegro, folks, which should have been wrong. And as we rightfully mentioned, there's a player that played for this team, that played for the three versions, of this country. So that's not very political. We just want to let you know there is one guy. Can you guess in the comment section below? Let us know. So we're going to move along. So tactics-wise, what do you think, James?
Well, this was a very interesting game. I mean, obviously it looks like Serbia had a lot more possession, but one of the things I liked in this game is Shaqiri came back in. Yeah. And Shaqiri is a very underestimated player. I mean, obviously he's playing in the MLS now, but to me, the first game he was excellent, but he's obviously an older player. He's not able to necessarily finish off games. He'll be disappointed he was taken off so early in this game. You can see it on his face, but he got that goal in 20 minutes. Obviously, Mbolo was fantastic again. Ironically, obviously, he's originally from Cameroon and really boots his country out, which is another talking point. But I think this team is probably the right team to go through. Right. I mean, Serbia have a very good team. I think the goalkeepers, both of them, had a very good game, especially the fact that Jan Sommer missed the game for being ill. But at the end of the day, the Swiss will be very delighted. And as I say, that inclusion of Shaqiri to me was the key man in there.
Yes. So Kevin, we love to talk formation. Serbia, obviously, they didn't do enough in this particular game, but according to this, they played with three at the back, and they tried to really, go for it, but it wasn't enough in the end. And you rightfully said, that attacking trio that they have, with Tadic and Mitrovic and so on, it makes me wonder, should they have just gone with that from the very beginning and play with a little more courage? Do you think they could have gotten more out of this group?
I think so. I think Serbia had the potential to be the Croatia of this World Cup. Yeah. I think with the type of players they have, the clubs that they play for, and the talent, obviously, Tadic is an older player right now, but the talent is still there, as you see for Ajax. And I think, if Serbia had gone, as James said, group management,
yeah.
And I think this one is the opposite. If they didn't plan it so much and just let the chips fall where they fall, yeah, and just go there to play football, I think they could have surprised Brazil, they could have even surprised Cameroon. And of course, because of the Brazil game, I thought they went too attacking in the Cameroon game. They were obviously leading 3-1, and they kept going and going and going, and they obviously got pegged back. So, again, the coaching decisions seem to be affecting these games a lot, and that is just to speak to the quality of the football. I think that's probably the right team came out of the group in the end.
Yes, James, and let's talk about Switzerland. Obviously, they went with the 4-2-3-1 formation. Do you think that they did concede 2 goals? Do you think moving forward this will be an issue for them that will undo them as they move forward?
Well, we're going into knockout football now, so to me, it's whatever gets you the result. So, and I don't think they'll be too worried. I mean, they'll be disappointed on the day to concede 2 goals. Obviously, Kobel came in there. As a goalkeeper coming into a tournament, it's not ideal that you've not played the first 2 games. Yeah. And I'm sure Sommer will come back in after, but at the end of the day, it's about getting results. And what Serbia weren't able to do, Switzerland were, and I think they'll be delighted. But they will head into that round of 16 with the fact is they've made it through. They can beat anybody on their day, and that's it, because you have to have that confidence. As a coach, as a team, if you don't have that confidence, there's no point in being there. Yes. I think they will have that confidence.
Just a quick mention, James, to follow on your point. Confidence is a huge thing, and they would know 1 more goal for them, 1 less goal conceded, they would have topped the group. So top a group with Brazil in it.
Yeah.
That will give you confidence that they were just about on par with Brazil. On this grand scheme of things, so that will give them great confidence.
Correct. And speaking about Brazil, folks, we're going to head into the game that a lot of neutrals, the people call them the darlings of football. Not me, but anyway, the darlings of football. Brazil took on Cameroon, and some would consider it a shock. They were stunned 1-0 from Abu Bakar, and the very late in the game. The 92nd minute. There's so much to talk about. I'm kind of stunned a little bit because we're trying to do all the games. James is trying to update me on all the games. Guys, what do you think about this game? James, let's start with you.
This game was an absolute classic. I mean, yes, it was 1-0, but it was end-to-end stuff. I thought both goalkeepers, whether it was Ederson or Epasi, who came in obviously taking the place of the Inter Milan goalkeeper there, but it was absolutely a wonderful game. Abu Bakar getting the goal at the end there, and then getting the red card for taking off his shirt because he was previously yellow carded. I mean, this game had it all. It had flying tackles, it had fantastic saves, it just had it all, and it was a game that there was 9 Brazilian changes. And one thing I would say is, if you look at all the games that the coaches have made this amount of changes has backfired on them. It wasn't able to backfire on Brazil because they were already through basically, but it just shows you that coaches have to be very careful with tinkering.
Yep.
And this is the first time I think an African country has beat a Brazilian team at a World Cup final. So big result for Cameroon. They were disappointed. Rigobert's song has been fantastic. They're obviously not gone through, but it's a great way to end the competition for them.
Yes, and we will talk about the red card afterwards. We'll have our thoughts on that. But Kevin, moving along, we talk about his stats as always. Brazil dominated possession with 65%. They wanted to score goals. They don't want to lose. This is Brazil. 65% possession versus 35. 21 shots on goal. 7 on target versus 7 shots for Cameroon and 3 on target for them. It's another example. We've been talking about this all the time. You have a lot of possession. There's a debate that goes on, but in this particular case, the dominance did not pay off. Should this be a concern for Chiche and his men?
I think I made an assessment of Brazil after their first 2 games. I said that they're not playing fluent football. They relied on a goal mouth scramble and a spectacular goal from Richarlison for the first game, and an even more spectacular goal from Casemiro for the second game. So, when you're analyzing games, we go with bottom lines. Possession, passes, all these things are just in between. Bottom line is they relied on some spectacular stuff to win games, and that has to be a worry for Brazil. I think they look a bit blunt. I think, they created a lot of chances, but it wasn't quality chances. It was half chances, shots that more than likely was going over the bar. So I think they're really missing Neymar as much as they would not like to say it. And I think, it speaks volumes to the old saying again, you're only as strong as your bench. And Brazil is showing that they really can't tinker with the team too much because, it was eye-opener.
Well, I would counter you, Kev. I would say you're only as good as your last game. And this is the thing, they're all going into the groups, they're on the 16 now, and a lot of these teams are going in after a loss. Will that affect them mentally? And that's a huge question.
Well, as you say, momentum, confidence plays a huge part, but just a quick mention on Cameroon. I thought they were very resilient, they were very passionate, and some of those last minute tackles, all I can say is wow. I mean, you swear it's goal, you swear it's a penalty kick, but they just somehow get the foot to the ball. The keeper coming in as second choice was probably, barring the goal from Vincent Abu Bakar, would have been man of the match. And as we're on Vincent, he came into the World Cup saying that he was better than Mohamed Salah. He just wasn't as recognized, and the impact that he has had obviously with the chip goal, and he set up the third goal, against Serbia, and of course the winner here today. It's hard to argue with that. With Brazil, one good thing I could say with the changes, Martinelli looked like he could start with Vinicius, because I don't think Rafinha has been particularly good, neither has Anthony. So I think the left side, or the right side I should say, is a bit of a worry for them, but Martinelli looked bright, he looked like full of running, full of skill, so I think that could be an answer to maybe some of the creative problems.
Yes, and unfortunately Cameroon, they didn't make it out of the group, but this shows that, what could have been in a lot of ways. But do you think it's a stereotype that we hear every World Cup with the big teams that we're seeing, with the last several World Cups to be fair, not just this one that's been smashed to pieces? They usually say things about Brazil's and the Germany's and Italy's not there, but the Argentina's, which is another point. A lot of people are saying Brazil are going to get it right, but we've seen in the last 2 World Cups, that doesn't guarantee anything. Your past history means nothing in this tournament. As James rightfully said, I can say only as good as your last game. You have your next game coming up. Do you think Brazil will get it right as they move forward?
Well, I think they'll definitely go. I mean, I'm no disrespect, obviously, now they're going to play South Korea. Yeah. Massive game for both countries, but I think to beat Brazil just has enough of the time maybe to take that one. But you never know. This is World Cup football, it's knockout football, and the loss will hurt them, but I think they have just a little bit extra, in my opinion, to take, obviously, South Korea, but we'll see.
Yes.
Well, I think people underestimate, because we see so much club football, they underestimate what plays a big part in international football, especially major tournaments, is pride for your country.
Yes.
So we never know what South Korea could come out with, what type of feeling, what type of mood, and we all know these countries, they have a lot of pride for their flag. So anything can happen. I think Brazil will have to take it up a notch and improve, especially in the final third, to get past the South Korea team, because what we see is that the coaches are able to adapt and make changes tactically even when they are down, and come up. As you see, Japan came from 1-0 down in 2 games and won it 2-1.
Yes.
So it'll be an interesting finish.
Well, speaking of coaches, obviously this game was won for South Korea with an assistant coach. So I mean, very interesting fact. I mean, the coach was sitting in the stands. The assistant coach. I mean, who gets the win? Let's see. But wonderful result for them.
Yes. So we'll just summarize the group now. Group G, obviously Brazil top the group with 6 points, followed by Switzerland, who will go to, unfortunately, Cameroon 4, and Serbia with 1. I think this just summarizes how exciting the World Cup is. Yes, Brazil, traditional powerhouse, made it through, but it was far from assured, and we'll see how it goes into the knockout stages. So let's just talk quickly about the teams that Brazil will possibly have to face. You kind of touched on it already. Moving forward in both groups. So we'll go back to the other group as well. What do you all think about the upcoming possible games?
Well, obviously we know now Switzerland will play Portugal. Massive game. I mean, it would be easy for me to say that I think is going to win, because if you watch the games in the past, you know who I'm supporting. But massive game for both countries. Switzerland, if you play the right team, can really contest that game well. And then obviously we have Brazil against South Korea. 2 massive mouth-watering games. I cannot wait.
I think we can't underestimate. We can't go on name. I think it's silence here. Keep going, man. I think we can't go on name. I think we can't go on reputation. I think what the teams have shown is that respect goes out the door in this World Cup. Just to finish off, I think a lot of talk has been circulating about this World Cup, whether it should be held there, whether it shouldn't be held there. And I always say, again, bottom line, I like to talk about the football, and this is the best World Cup I've ever witnessed in terms of quality of football and tactical awareness of coaches. And I've been watching football for a long time, despite my boyish looks. I've been watching football a long time.
Yes. So we have a lot of football to look forward to, folks. James, do you want to add anything else?
Yeah, we have obviously a whole bunch of football tomorrow. Tomorrow is when obviously the round of 60 starts, and this is when the real football starts. Knockout football. You lose, you go home. So tomorrow we have Netherlands. We have a lot of Dutch supporters here that have come in, graced their presence here at the bar. We hope to see them again. They will play America. What a massive game that is for both countries. And then at 3 o'clock, wow, your boys, Argentina will play Australia. And then will the Aussies come out? Will they put another shrimp on the barbie? Or will Argentina and Messi?
Brilliant.
What I would say, guys, sorry to interrupt, is that Australia has been very strong at the back, very composed, very organized. very, very compact. And I think, you know, if they could handle Messi, I'm not saying that they will win, but they can make it very, very difficult. And we know all the talk has been coming out from USA. They want Netherlands, they want Brazil. They think that they have a chance to advance to at least the semi-finals in this World Cup. I don't think so. I think tomorrow will be the end of soccer for this World Cup until another 4 years.
Oh, wow.
But I think the Dutch have just a little too much quality. They obviously didn't look very fluent against Ecuador. But I think Cody Gakpo again, he has shown that he is a real difference maker. And USA will have to bring an A+ game, not just an A game, to stop this Dutch team, in my mind. But I don't like to make predictions because this has been the most difficult World Cup to predict. Most of my picks were wrong, and that's what makes football so much fun.
Yes, and you know that's why it's a nightmare. It's an analyst for a nightmare to try to make predictions because there's so many variables. Folks, let us know what you think in the comment section below because this World Cup has been absolutely nuts. We're having a lot of fun down here. It's so loud we can barely hear ourselves, which is a good thing. We have the Angostura girls, we have all the giveaways at Smokey and Bunchies down at the Avenue in Trinidad and Tobago. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages, both Extra Time TV and Smokey and Bunchies. And also, I have a little message about this lovely watch here, which we'll be talking about soon. Obviously, it's Argentina. So we'll have a lot to talk about. So James, we're going to end it like we always do. Kevin, looks like you want to say something. Let's hear it.
I say, let's hope that watch don't stop tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
But guys, after a wonderful, fantastic, superlative day of football, make sure you all come out and support us. Make sure you come down here and enjoy the atmosphere. Make sure you all support us and come down and continue watching the greatest show on earth.